Hey, what's happening, everybody? Just wanted to give you a power walk talk today. Actually, I'm not even sure what park this is. I stopped off the freeway to get some gas and I saw this right across the street, so I thought I'd come over here. Pretty nice park. It's in the eastern part of San Diego County, I know that. Let's talk. I was reading an article today about how the top 10% are, as nobody's surprised, they're doing just fine. And in fact, they're ready to pounce when we see any price corrections. And who do we see in the top 10%? We see a lot of investors, hedge funds, big money managers. And when home prices do come down, and I think they will come down in some cities. I don't think it'll be a crash, but prices will come down. You're going to have the big money swooping in, and you're going to see the home ownership rate plunge. And yes, there'll be a few people in the middle class that will be able to buy a home. People that were ready for this, people that saved up cash. But you're going to see the home ownership rate overall take a big plunge. And that's what happened in the last crash, 2008. People call it a crash. It was a price decline, whatever. When I say these words, I see debates down in comments. It's not a crash. It's a correction. It's a correction. It's not a recession. It's a depression. All those words, those are opinionated words. But when prices do correct, you're going to see more wealth shift up to the top 10%, to the mega wealthy. And that's what happens when we have these boom and bust cycles. And it makes people think. It makes people look at this and say, hey, is this intentional? Are these people that are steering the economy, are they doing all this by accident? Is it just an accident that the wealth continues to get transferred to the top? Well, there's a lot of people out there with different theories on that. It's very interesting. All right, so we're going to walk up here. We're going to take a look at some geese, some ducks. Let me show you a little scenery out here. Hey y'all, are you waiting for me to feed you? Sorry, I don't have any food. Actually, I saw a sign up back there that said, do not feed them bread. But I see people, at this other park I go to, I see people feeding bread to them all the time. People just don't read signs. Unfortunately, even stop signs. My wife, just a couple weeks ago, somebody just ran a stop sign and doing about 50 miles an hour. And she was like, well, I was just a half a second from pulling out, and that could have been it, or that could have been hospital, that could have been months in the hospital, weeks in the hospital, who knows. And the number one reason for people filing bankruptcy is medical bills. Things can change on a dime. 1 minute you're flying high, the next minute you're busted. It's like the Wheel of Fortune, a game show. You're spinning the wheel. We got some money on the board. Boo, bankruptcy. Things can happen fast, and you got to make smart decisions. You've got to be defensive, just like driving. You got to be defensive. Who's the clown that's going to run the stop sign or the red light and stop you in your tracks? And the older we get, I think the more we think about these things. But I know when I was younger, I certainly didn't make the best decisions. And I got a post. Somebody posted a message to me on Facebook, and they were saying, hey man, remember me? You were a buyer for me. You used to be a buyer for me. Like a long time ago, many years ago. And apparently I was 21 years old. I don't remember this. And I bought alcohol for someone that was younger than 21, younger than the drinking age. Not good. And I don't know how old this kid was at the time, but he said I was old enough to buy, so I'm guessing I was 21. What would have happened if he would have drank and drive, got into an accident? That would have been my neck on the line, probably, right? So we've got to think about what we do. I mean, I was back then in my early 20s. I thought I was, hey, I'm 21. I'm old enough to buy a drink. I'm an adult. I'm smart. Looking back, I was dumb as rocks, doing stuff like that. So as we get older, I mean, we learn. But no matter how much knowledge or wealth you gain, things can change on a dime. Just like we talked about the medical bills, traffic accidents, the health crisis threw a lot of people's expenses into chaos. And you know, things are not looking to be getting much better. When we look at the cost of living, when we look at the supply chains, when we look at the manufacturing in this country, what's happening with farms, and with the investments that I've done, you know, I've done okay, and I'll be set. But looking at the younger people, looking at the younger people in my family, and just the younger people in this country in general, what are these people going to do when we have half of millennials can't even afford to move out of their mom and dad's house? Shouldn't say that. A lot of single parents, they can't afford to move out of their whoever's their caregiver. And I don't really see much help on the horizon. Yes, a price correction will be good. For example, the real estate market starts coming down, but it's going to be a bigger implementation of the wealth transfer, and you're going to see the wealthy scoop up these homes like you wouldn't believe. And all the people that bought in the past few years, well, they're coming to the harsh realization now that the carrying costs for these bubble price homes is not going to be easy to handle for a lot of people. When you look at the elevated tax base, the utilities keep going up and up. Our utility bill just went up $30 a month. And my wife and I were trying to cut back. We're avoiding running the space heater in the morning. You know, it gets a little chilly in the morning. Even in California, it gets a little chilly in the morning especially, and overnight. But in the morning, we usually run these space heaters, and we're like, okay, let's not run those in the morning. Let's not turn on the AC. We haven't had to turn on the AC yet, because it's pretty nice weather here, San Diego, so we don't have to turn on the AC. Starting in June, July, August, though, we're probably going to have to start running the AC. But yeah, we're trying to cut back on electricity, and even as we're trying to cut back, this is for the month of April, bill went up $30. And we're already either amongst or the highest in the country for utility bills here in San Diego. I don't know how the young people are going to do it. I mean, even if you can save up for a down payment on a house, when you look at the carrying costs, when you look at the cost of everything else rising, more people having to move further out of the city to get affordable housing. And for most people, guess what? That means a longer commute to the job. And now with fuel prices where they're at, how are these people going to handle it? All right, so I like to say the word interesting. It's going to get interesting, but some people will tell you it's getting scary and going to get scarier. And it's going to get more dangerous too. We see, you know, the more poverty. We just looked at other countries where we see economic calamities, and we see what happens to the crime rate there. So please let me know what you think about this down in comments. Let me know what you think about the scenery out here. Nice lake. Let's go ahead and show you. Water's looking pretty green. Not really anybody fishing out here. I think that's going to change when the cost of food gets so high, and when the bankruptcy storm hits. You're going to see a lot more people fishing and finding food in other ways, if you know what I mean. All right, so we're going to sign off, people. Got a construction crew up here. It's getting kind of noisy, so I'll sign off. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and let me know what you think about this little nature walk today, and maybe we'll do more of these. probably need to do more, you know. So let me know. Thank you, everybody. Bye.